Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Huzaifa Jamal Mirza and my topic is War and Peace, and my group select the topic of war between Russia and Ukraine. In 9th century, Kievan Rus Slavic people lived here. Capital was Kiev, 1980 to 1050. Grand Prince Volodymyr ruled Kievan Rus. Ukraine was under Russian rule. In 1900, Russia was the most powerful of 15 Soviet republics. Second member was Ukraine, most powerful of 15 Soviet republics on second number. Soviet Union collapsed in 1991 and Russia and Ukraine became independent. Ukraine inherited nuclear, in which 176 intercontinental ballistic missile, 1249 nuclear warheads, 44 strategic bombers, but gave it all up in 1994, and in exchange, Moscow offered them security. They signed the Budapest Agreement with Belarus, UK, US, and Kazakhstan. Viktor Yanukovych, Ukraine president, had bad reputation of corruption and was openly pro-Moscow. In 2030, he rejected European trade deal and took $15 billion bailout package from Russia. To many Ukrainian people, it felt like to be sold to Russia. So protests broke out and could become Euromaidan. West supported protester, Russia supported president. In 1940, the government toppled and president moved to Russia. Both sides agreed to ceasefire, military withdrawal, election in rebel-held areas. Munich Agreement remained unimplemented. Ukraine divided in East and West. East is close to Russia and West is close to Europe. In West, most people speak Ukrainian, and in East, most people speak native Russian. Ukrainian is still fighting with rebels in East. In second region, Luhansk and Donetsk together could Donbas region.
Impact of Ukraine crisis on Pakistan economy. Pakistani economy is bad to worst right now, as its highest monthly deficit is of 2.55 billion in January. State Bank data shows state deficit rose to 9%. Remittances dropped by 15%, mostly. Overall, debit payments doubled by 4.7 billion from $1.6 billion. Current amount deficit stays at 4 peg relative to GDP for this fiscal year. Foreign inflows have been dried up. Past FDI is unable to match the rapid increase in bills. Trade deficit increased to $27.35 billion during first 7 months against $1.481 billion in last fiscal year. Pakistan's LNG and gas energy challenges. Pakistan energy chaos is going to aggravate. In order to meet the fuel requirement of the country, power sectors and industry, government has to buy expensive LNG. At present, purchase of a cargo costs around 18 million against $70 billion to 30 billion. Gas prices have already soared from $24 billion ton to $40 million cubic ton. Government should formulate a short to long-term energy policies that take into account the changing market fundamentals in wake of Russia-Ukraine ongoing conflict. Government should come up with a strategy to attract invest in domestic oil and gas industries. Russia was angry after losing pro-Moscow president in Ukraine. Moscow armed Crimea 2014.
My name is Syed Ghulam Murtaza and my topic is why annexed Crimea. Crimea Peninsula is located in Black Sea. In 1954, Nikita Khrushchev transferred Crimea from Russia to Ukraine. Nikita thought the transfer would increase brutally ties between Russia and Ukraine. When Ukraine became independent in 1991, Crimea joined it. Crimea had special autonomy. It remained home to Russian military bases. 2014, Russian military started to seize the Crimean government and slowly occupied the entire peninsula. March 16, 2014, Crimea voted to join Russia to become part of Russia. Focus shifted to East Ukraine. Russia started to seize in eastern Ukraine in April 2014. July 17, 2014, Malaysian flight carrying 298 people was shot down. Ukraine forces decided to flush out the rebels from the East Ukraine. Later, Russian army stepped in alongside to fight with rebels. The talk between Russia-Ukraine of war resulted in Minsk Agreement. Area was repopulated with ethnic Russian. East Ukraine has always been dealt to Russia because it has coal, iron, textile, land. Putin talk about he says Russia and Ukraine are one. Current President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, is vocal critic of Russia. He opposes Russian occupation in East Ukraine. Past imperialism cannot be justified in today's expansion. People of Russia ethnicity in East Ukraine and being suppressed by Ukraine and more portion has recognized to republics from East Ukraine.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mir Balach. Russian leader Catherine the Great started Russifying Ukraine in 1700. Schools were to teach Russian language. By 1800, Ukrainian language was banned. In 1930, Stalin Soviet leaders tapped the famine Ukraine and millions of Ukrainians died. Encourage use of renewable energy to cut reliance on costly fuel imports. Euro region inflation could be touching 3% by year and economy would be absorbing high energy costs. United States of America would see consumer prices decelerate to near 5% by the end of year. Real income squeeze in euro areas close to 4% by the year end. Headline inflation United States could touch 9% in the March and 6% by the year end. ECB has estimated 10% gas stock could trim euro area GDP by 0.7%. Government has to borrow to finance its import bill and debit payment has to be accepted. Harsh IMF conditions for reception of state funding program and raise interest rate to protect the home currency. Weaknesses could force the bank to boost rates against which may adversely affect economic activities.